Today's video is about compound interest. This video uses a formula for interest that is compounded annually. A equals P, open parentheses, 1 plus R, close parentheses, to the T power. Interest is a way to earn money on money that is kept in a savings account. Interest is also applied to situations where people borrow money, such as loans. There are two types of interest that you will learn about: simple and compound interest. Compound interest earns money on the amount originally put in the account and the interest that is accumulated. Compound interest uses this formula: A equals P, open parentheses, 1 plus R to the T power. In the formula, A stands for amount, P stands for principal, or the original money, R stands for rate, and in rate, make sure you convert the percent to a decimal. If it's in a percent, you divide by 100 to get the decimal form. And then time is what the T stands for, and this is time in years. If it's not in years, you must convert the time in years, and you do that by dividing by 12. So the steps to find the total amount using the compound interest formula. First off, you're going to underline the part in the question where it asks you to find total amount, or how much is in the account. And then you're going to circle the words compound interest in the problem. This will help you when you get to questions that also have simple interest, and then that way you remember which formula to use. The second step is to write the formula, and you're going to use this formula right up here: A equals P, open parentheses, 1 plus R to the T power. The third step is to convert the rate to a decimal, so that means you're going to divide your rate by 100, and then you're also going to convert the time to years if needed. Plug in your numbers into the formula and then solve. Number 1. Veronica puts $4,000 into an account that is compounded annually. The rate is 6%. How much money will be in the account after 6 years? So first off, we're going to underline the part of the question where it asks you to find total amount. So the money in the account indicates total amount here. And then we're also going to circle the part where it indicates that we're using compound interest. That's going to be the words compounded annually. Then I'm going to write my compound interest formula: A equals P times 1 plus R to the T power. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and convert my rate to a decimal. So my rate is 6%. And then if I take the decimal and move it over twice, I'm left with 0.06 as my decimal. And then the account already is in 6 years, so I don't need to convert the time. So then I'm going to go ahead and write A equals, my principal is $4,000, that's the money amount that goes originally into the account, 1 plus my rate, which I found is 0.06, to the time power, which is 6. And then when you put that in the calculator, you're going to want to put this part right here into the calculator. And then when you solve for amount, you should get 5,674.08, or 8 cents. Number 2. John has a compound interest savings account with a rate of 5.2%. He puts $12,000 into the account and does not make any additional deposits or withdrawals. How much will be in the account in 60 months? So first off, let's go ahead and underline the part in the question where it asks for total amount. So the part where it says how much will be in the account, that indicates how much is the total amount of the account. And then we're also going to circle where we find compound interest. So at this point, it's right here. Then I'll go ahead and write down my compound interest formula: A equals P times 1 plus R to the T power. So my rate is 5.2%. I'm going to divide it by 100 or move the decimal point over twice to get the decimal. So then that's going to be 0.052. And then this time my time is 60 months, so that has to be in years. So 60 months divided by 12, because that's how many months are in a year. 60 divided by 12 is 5. So now I can go ahead and put those numbers into my formula. A equals my principal, which is 12,000, 1 plus R, which my rate is 0.052, to the T power, which in years is 5. And then when I put that in my calculator, my total amount in my account is going to be 15,461.80. If you're following along with the worksheet, you might want to go ahead and answer up to question 6 so that you are doing the same type of problems in this section. So when we have the compound interest formula, we have it A equals. That means it doesn't give us the interest, it gives us a total amount. So when it asks us to find the interest, we have to subtract the principal from the total amount to find the interest. So you're going to do the same steps as before. The only thing that changes is step number 6. You're going to subtract the principal from the total amount to get the interest. And that's kind of using the letters for it. Question 7. Scarlett will invest $7,000 into a 3% compound interest rate account. What is the interest earned after 48 months? So let's go ahead and underline the part where it says interest earned. And then we're going to circle the part where it says compound interest. So then I'll go ahead and write my compound interest formula, which is A equals P 1 plus R to the T power. And then my rate, before I can put it in the formula, my rate needs to be converted to a decimal. 3% becomes, so you divide it by 100 to get 0.03. And then my time is currently 48 months. I have to divide that by 12 to get the time in years, which is going to be 4. So then I go ahead and plug that into my formula. A equals my principal, the money at the beginning, is 7,000 times 1 plus my rate, which is 0.03 to the T power, which is going to be 4. So when I put this in my calculator, I'm going to get A equals 7,878 and 56 cents. But I'm not done yet because I'm looking for interest earned. I have to go ahead and take my amount, which I got right there, and then subtract the $7,000, the principal, from that. So then if you subtract that, you're going to get 878.56, and that's going to be your interest. So this video has been about compound interest. Just make sure you guys follow those steps. That's going to really help you out so you don't get confused between total interest and just interest earned.